Sorry, I'm just really into the clapping lately, I don't really know why. Anyway, hello everybody, it's me, Lainey, and I hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday. It's the end of the weekend, which is much sad, and everybody has to go and do things tomorrow, which is also much sad, except me, because I don't have anything to do on Monday, because school is on Tuesday and Wednesday, so that's always fun. Anyway, today we are drawing a bunch of my original characters as little sprites like you would see in a video game. I basically just used the same sort of character size as Stardew Valley, that's what it is. So that's what's happening there, and I kind of just, you know, trying to live my life, but I've had a very busy week and I feel like I have no idea how to do anything. I'm finally back to normal recording schedule, so that's exciting. But we've got a whole bunch of characters here. I'm planning on doing this with all 69 of my original characters. There's actually 68 characters and then there's myself, but like I said last Sunday, I draw myself so often, and like I have a very specific way of drawing myself that I'm kind of like an original character, but not really. I don't belong in like the universe or anything, but anyway, because I have so many original characters, it's not easy to draw them all, honestly. Like, most of them just don't get drawn. There are a whole bunch that are just like, you know, oh, they're the parent of this character, or like the grandmother, or they're just random and they have nothing to do with anything. So sometimes I just don't want to draw them as much. But then there's the ones that I draw more often. I draw Bisma, Candy, Roxy, Lavender, all those people. You probably have seen me draw them here on my channel before, and I talk about them probably a lot. I don't know if you even remember them, but yeah, we are drawing one of the royal families. In the lore of my world, there is everybody lives on just a massive island, and there's one island that is run entirely by people, or like kingdoms, kingdoms that are all just based upon the elements. Back in the olden days, everyone used to have powers, but people don't really have much magic these days. It's just, you know, what happened, kind of like, you know, everyone kind of grew out of magic, which makes no sense, but it's what happened, yo. So we've got Dahlia, who is the queen, and then Solomon, her husband, the king. Although they're technically not king and queen now. When you get to, like, when your eldest gets to a certain age, you can either let them become, you know, king, queen, whatever, whenever you kind of feel like it. And when Zara, who is the blonde one that I'm drawing right now, when she turned, how old was she? I think she was 26. They just like, you know what? You can handle being queen. And then she's kind of like, what? And then they kind of went on a massive vacation for 4 years, and Zara was just left in charge. I mean, they didn't actually make her queen. They're just like, okay, you're gonna be in charge for the next 4 years. We're just gonna go on like a vacation. And it's just like, no, you can't do that. You're the king and the queen. And then they're just like, yeah, we can do what we want. We're the king and queen. And you know, we love quality family relationships like that. So Zara, great. And then was Zara's oldest, and then the second oldest, Harley, he's kind of a jerk, and I don't really like him as a character, but you know, you have to have jerky characters because you never know when you're gonna need them in a story. And he does develop the plot here and there, and he is not the worst person, but I just don't like him. So, you know, Harley, he also likes to wear red. Zara and Harley love the colour red a lot, and so they wear red a lot. And then there's like Flora, who's the third oldest, and she's like the opposite of Harley and Zara. Harley and Zara are nothing alike, but Flora, man, like, yikes. I mean, she's super nice. She's like an overprotective mum, but at the same time, she will never really speak to anyone or do anything. She just kind of sits there and stares and watches all the chaos, and everyone always comes to her with their problems, and she's kind of scary because she knows everyone's secrets, and when she gets mad, she's like some kind of like kung fu wizard, which is fun, you know. I think that's just generally fun. And then after Zara, we've got the twins, the oldest one of the twins being Mason. He doesn't say much, you know, but he's very important to a lot of the story elements of, well, my story, I guess. So, yeah, I should pay more attention to him. I do love him as a character. He's generally very shy. He's a lot like Bisma, who was his twin sister. That's probably why they're very alike, except Bisma is just generally, I wouldn't say shy, she just doesn't show much emotion, and kinda, I don't know what the word is, but she might not be the most friendly at first, but, you know, Mason over here, he's, it's not that he's not friendly, he's just really awkward, like me. He's just, like, awkward. Bisma's also really awkward, but in a different way. It's just weird. They're just weird characters. It's like, I feel like I need much more time to explain both of these characters. I actually have an entire video dedicated to Bisma's backstory, if you wanted to watch that. I think it's, well, I don't know what it's called. It's something, okay? It basically just tells, like, her backstory and a bit more about her personality, and, you know, it's me thinking a lot more about her and knowing what to say, because I actually thought about it before I went into that. I just don't have much time, and I just want to get a video up. So there's those, and then lastly, we've got the triplets. So what happened? So yeah, these two people, they had 3 kids, and then they had twins, and then they had triplets, because that's just what happened. So we've got, you know, the good old Irene, who's kind of like, it's kind of like an old lady name. She was named kind of after their grandmother, but their grandmother has a cool name. The grandmother's name is Irina, but Irina is just like, she can't have my name, I'm still alive. And so it's like, okay, what about Irene? And it's like, oh, whatever. And she's super nerdy, she's a gamer girl. She hides in her room a lot. I relate to her a lot. I mean, you know, does anyone else relate? Hide, don't really talk to people, just kind of ignore people, yeah. But she's kind of short. She's about the same height as Zara. They're like the shortest. Everyone in this family is like ridiculously tall, except like the dad. The dad is like a midget, but the mum is like, you know, she used to be tall, but then she got into a bad injury. She had a bad injury, and so she's just not tall anymore, and it's much sad. But all of their kids are pretty much tall, except for Zara and Irene. And then we've got Anne. You know, we love a good trans character. I don't think I've ever really mentioned that she's trans, but she is, you know, was born a boy, but very, very quickly realized that, she is who she is, and she lives however she wants. And everyone, kind of just thought that it was like a phase and she'd grow out of it, and then she just never did, and then everyone kind of just, you know, was like, oh yeah, and, you know, she's pretty, she's nice, and all that, and then, they try to be like, no, but you're not a girl, and they're like, well, Anne's like, well, you know, what are you gonna do? Can't really change me now. And they're like, fair enough. So they just kind of accept it. But they don't really talk about her much. I mean, she's like the 7th oldest of like 8 children. So people generally kind of don't pay much attention to her anyway, so yeah. And then we've got the youngest, who is Zane. And Zane's not really part of the family at all. He fell in love with someone who wasn't royalty, and he said something to his parents, and his parents are like, well, you can either leave them or you can leave us. And he's like, bye. It was much more dramatic than that, but he left his family to go be with the person he loves, and it's like, oh, cute story, whatever. Anyway, that's about it, guys. Oh my goodness, I don't even have time for my outro. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to do the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, you know what they are. I hope to see you in my next video. Please have a lovely day, all that stuff. I don't have time. Oh my goodness, I ran out of time. This is a yikes. Okay, bye.